Action plans. Why do you need them? How do you create them? And when is the best time to put one into action? I'm Ben Harvey, and this is this month's video newsletter for Authentic Education. I regularly get asked by people in our community, how do I put an action plan around the goals that I want to achieve in my life? Now, the funny thing is, action plans are actually quite a simple thing to create. The very first thing that I do when I want to take action is first of all determine what is it that I would actually like to create. I know it sounds simple, I know it's personal development 101, but here's the thing, you've got to get clarity. You've got to know exactly what you're actually wanting to take action on and what the desired outcome is. So let's just say, for example, that your action plan was to get your body fat down to 12%. So you wanted to trim, tone and make your physique nice and terrific. Now maybe it's something I should be working on. But here's the thing. If you know that you want to get your body fat down to 12%, well now you know your outcome, which means you can start to create your action plan. Once I've done that, what I do is I get a piece of paper, and on the left-hand side of the piece of paper, I write the letter A. On the right-hand side of the piece of paper, I write the letter B. And I simply draw a line from A to B. Now that I have this piece of paper with A on one side and B on the other, I'm ready to start creating my timeline, which will eventually become my action plan. Next thing I do, I brain dump every single thing, every action I think I might need to take in order to achieve 12% body fat. So it might be things like change my diet. It might be things like go to the gym. It might be things like do some sit-ups. It might be things like drink more water. It might be things like consult people I know who have an incredible physique that might be able to share with me strategies and ideas of how to do that. Once I've brain dumped a whole list of things that are essential in order to get the result that I'm looking for, what I do is I look down the list and look for any things that are similar. And I start to crunch it down to the smallest number of actions I need to take to ensure that I'm actually going to get to where I want to go. So just a very quick recap before we go any further. I've got A on one side of this line, B on the other side of the line, and underneath the line I've brain dumped every single action I think I need to take. I've then trimmed it down and got it down to the fewest number of actions required in order to achieve my outcome. Now, I may be left with 6 steps, 7 steps, 8 steps. I don't know exactly how many actions I'm going to be left with, but from there what I do is I ask myself, what is the very first essential step that I need to take in order to move towards my outcome? Once I know that first step, I place it right next to A, and that becomes the first step in my action plan. Then I ask myself again the question, what has to happen next in order to get myself from A to B? And then I place that in and I place that in. Pretty soon, I have a full timeline going from A to B with every single step required in the correct order. By the time I've finished mapping that out and I've got my timeline complete, I now have an action plan. An action plan that at A has simple steps to follow, one after the other, that take me all the way across to B. This is how you create an action plan. My recommendation is go out there and work out what you want. Write A on one side, B on the other, do a brain dump, put it in some type of systemized order, and before you know it, you'll have action plans for everything. Now the problem with an action plan is you need to take action on it. So if you haven't crafted an action plan before, my very first action for you is go out there and create an action plan. I look forward to seeing you in action, achieving those dreams, going out there, living an inspired life. I hope you got value out of today. I hope you've learned how to create an action plan. And until we meet again, share your light, live your love, and do whatever it takes to be your own best friend.